Hey world enthusiasts! Recently, there have been signs that a powerful earthquake could strike California at a location known as the San Andreas Fault. But what are the possible scenarios for this kind of phenomenon? That's what you can see now on our channel. So let's get started. An earthquake along the San Andreas Fault, one of the most infamous fault lines in the world, arises from the tectonic forces at work between the Pacific and North American plates. The San Andreas Fault stretches over 800 miles, 1,300 kilometers, through California, defining the tectonic boundary between these two massive slabs of Earth's crust. The Pacific Plate is moving northwestward past the North American Plate at a rate of approximately 2 inches, 5 centimeters, per year. This movement is not smooth, however, and the plates are locked together at many points along the fault. Stress builds at these locked zones as the plates continue to try to move. When the stress exceeds the strength of rocks comprising the fault, it is suddenly released in the form of an earthquake. The mechanics of an earthquake at the San Andreas Fault can be described as a process that spirals through stages. It begins with the accumulation of elastic strain in the rocks on either side of the fault as the tectonic plates press against each other. The fault itself acts as a barrier to this movement, and as time progresses, the strain energy increases until the frictional resistance of the fault is overcome. Once the threshold is breached, the fault ruptures and the accumulated strain energy is converted into kinetic energy, causing the sudden displacement of the ground, that terrifying phenomenon we know as an earthquake. The point on the fault where the rupture begins is called the focus or hypocenter of the earthquake, while the point directly above it on the Earth's surface is known as the epicenter. The release of energy occurs in waves that emanate outward from the fault. These seismic waves, principally P waves and S waves, are what shake the ground and can cause damage to structures, trigger landslides, and even redirect the flow of rivers. P waves, primary waves, compress and expand the material through which they pass at very high speeds, while S waves, secondary waves, move material up and down or side to side, perpendicular to the direction of the wave. These are typically the most destructive. The San Andreas Fault is particularly complex because it accommodates the motion between two plates by way of right lateral strike-slip movement. This means that if one were to stand on one side of the fault and look across to the other side, the opposite side would appear to have moved to the right during an earthquake. In some sections of the fault, movement is continuous but slow, a process known as aseismic creep. These areas are often subject to less catastrophic movement. However, they can be precursors or even trigger points for greater seismic activity. The aftermath of an earthquake along the San Andreas Fault can be dramatic. Apart from the immediate hazards of shaking ground, secondary effects can be just as destructive. Fire is a common post-earthquake threat, often resulting from ruptured gas lines and downed power lines. Infrastructure can be greatly compromised, with roads, bridges, and water lines potentially destroyed, thereby hampering rescue efforts and the transportation of goods and services critical to recovery. The potential risk of a major earthquake along the San Andreas Fault remains a significant concern for California and highlights the importance of earthquake preparedness. The state has some of the most stringent building codes in the country, designed to ensure that structures can withstand strong shaking. Despite these measures, the unpredictability and potential power of an earthquake along the San Andreas Fault continue to represent one of the most formidable natural hazards facing the region. Preparedness efforts include public education campaigns, regular drills like the Great California Shakeout, and ongoing scientific research to better understand the fault dynamics. The more scientists uncover about the San Andreas Fault and tectonic processes, the better equipped the region can be to mitigate the effects of the inevitable future earthquakes. Picture this: the San Andreas Fault, a colossal scar in the Earth's crust, silently biding its time for the next big shakeup. Beneath the sun-drenched landscapes of California, the rocks bear witness to the tumultuous history of past earthquakes, leaving behind a trail of geological breadcrumbs for scientists to decipher. One of the telltale signs of seismic activity along the San Andreas Fault is fault gouge, a jumble of crushed rock and mineral fragments, evidence of the intense friction and movement that occurs during an earthquake. This gritty residue can be found wedged within the fault itself, like a gritty fingerprint of the Earth's mighty rumblings. But the drama doesn't stop there. Imagine stumbling upon a fault scarp a menacing cliff-like feature where the land has been dramatically offset by the shifting plates. This unmistakable terrain deformation serves as a stark reminder of the raw power lurking beneath our feet, ready to upheave the landscape in an instant. Let's not forget the mysterious liquefaction phenomena that can occur during an earthquake, turning once solid ground into a quagmire of quicksand-like consistency. This surreal transformation, triggered by the intense shaking of the earth, is a surreal yet undeniable sign of the seismic turmoil brewing deep underground. And then there are the seismic waves themselves, reverberating through the ground like a cosmic drumbeat. These invisible forces leave their mark on the landscape in the form of shakily aligned rocks, displaced boulders, and fractured formations, a silent testament to the seismic symphony playing out beneath our very feet. As we gaze upon the rugged beauty of the California landscape, let us not forget the restless slumber of the San Andreas Fault, a geological time bomb waiting to be unleashed. The evidence of past earthquakes etched into the rocks serves as a stark reminder of the impermanence of our world and the awe-inspiring power of nature's forces. So, dear reader, the next time you find yourself hiking along the rugged terrain of California, take a moment to appreciate the silent whispers of the earth beneath your feet. For the signs of a seismic past and an uncertain future are written in the very stones beneath you, a reminder that the earth is alive and ever-changing, and that we are but humble witnesses to its awesome power. That was our video today. If you want to check out other scenarios that can happen in our world, check out the video that is appearing on the screen. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next adventure. Thanks for watching.